Sorry about that. I don't know why it keeps disconnecting my mic after every other update. Hello, welcome back to Orb Plus. My name's Orb. As you can see from the previous video, we failed quite epically. Price continued to go lower. Yeah. Let's try again today. See what we can do. Boom. Ugh. Uh-huh. Very much so debating on streaming every day, except for weekends. Don't know if it's a good idea or not, because we are very much so limited. I am very much so limited on a lot of what I can do right now. Constantly being called away and stuff. It gets very tedious having to bounce back and forth like that. I guess let me know in the comments if you guys watch my other stuff, whether or not you want to see me stream more. I get no one's probably watching this video, but who knows. So according to the MACD, we're in retrace and price is fairly there to be entered on. According to this and the amount of volume that's right here, technically this is prime time. Go ahead and do this. But as you can see, we're already below the 5-minute SMA. And according to this, we're far below it as well. So I don't want to enter just yet, especially considering both of these points of view over the high time frame, right? Instead, we want to go back up to the high time frame and do what we were doing a second ago. I'll minimize this, get that out of here. I want to see imbalance of some kind. None of this is imbalance. Most recent imbalance is right here. This is imbalance. What we're looking for is price to come down, even on the high time frame. Retest this, fail, and then continue higher. For the volume, it makes sense because we have a point of control almost literally through the center of this. This is the primary point of control. POC 1 time frame. Cool. The only other one we could really look at is this right here. POC 2 time frame. I don't want to go any further back than this 9:30 open way over here. So these two are the primary points of control that I'm willing to look at. We're in downtrend because price has found its imbalance area. Now we're looking for retest. That retest just so happens to be smack dab in between 2 points of control. So we could easily see it drop down, hit this level. I don't doubt this is probably a balance area. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It is a defined imbalance area. So it's got to come down, hit this, increase the volume here. It'll probably consolidate, and after it's increased this node beyond these two, making it the primary, what's probably going to happen is it's going to find a new balance area, a new area where it's an acceptable price range. We did break structure all the way up, but I don't think we broke past this. Yeah, no, we didn't. So we're looking at this high right here to get broke past. And if we wanted to break structure back to the downside, it'd be this low right here that we need to break down, which more than likely will happen with time. We just gotta wait for it. Um, high on high time frame to break. I'm just keep that, throw that in there after retrace. This is a reminder to me that okay, we're in retrace now. When this is popped up, we're looking for the retrace down and then to continue higher and then potentially break past that high right here. All right, once that's out the way, yeah, we're just waiting. That's what it is. We're in this pretty early, pretty early. I want to do this. We know this low is here. That is incredibly low. Incredibly low. Thought process is because this is so close to the bottom of this imbalance area, price has all the power to just skip beyond this and then continue lower. The thing is, once it has done that, it's either going to hit this point of control and react strongly, or it's going to stop within this area here and then it'll continue up. Or, like I said before, consolidate along this line, and then from this line, it'll move up beyond this high that it's currently got. Due to the change of trend down low. Question is, when is it going to happen? I think it'll happen soon because we've been technically, according to MACD, in retrace this whole time. Um, although, I guess this is just the sheer amount of volume, and then it's been because you can see it here even on this volume node indicator. We had a lot of volume here, and it slowly decayed over time, right? But here, as you can see, we've had a lot of volume within this area. So support level, I guess. We're just looking for, again, retest within here, maybe a little bit of consolidation, just a little bit, and then an increase in volume to either push it beyond because it will have bounced off here, or to push below because it will have taken over this point of control. And it'll be looking for either a previous area of liquidity or completely new price range. One of the two. Just a matter of waiting. I don't think there's much else I can do at the moment. I've marked everything I needed to. I'm observing the MACD. We've crossed on the high time frame, but we've been below on the lower time frame according to this here. Price is far above this smooth moving average on the high time frame. Not expecting for it to go lower. And we've of course got our high volume nodes pretty much marked out, mapped out, and taken care of. I guess I can move to the 5-minute, see stuff there. Boom. As you can see, it looks like we're at the bottom of this move down. Very low volume though. I mean, you can see that for yourself. Very low volume, just not an extreme amount of movement. We do have a small imbalance here, but again, it's sought out the point of control, which is right here. According to the high time frame, we could see price continue to venture all the way down into this range here. And again, it's a matter of it retesting this area, failing and moving higher, or poking past and beyond this point of control 2 here, and then just continuing to drop. I doubt it will do that though. I doubt it will. I need to look at let's take a look at news, because that would potentially be indicative of what's going on. Oh, hello. Oh no. Impact due to shutdown. 715, 723. Actual greater than forecast is good for currencies. So if this is higher than 723, which it's been going up recently, we'll see price continue lower, which is a little bit scary. It's not high impact news. It's a red folder. Don't get me wrong. It is a red folder. But it is not PPI, CPI, FOMC, or NFP. The thought process is um, my thoughts are because it's not super high impact, it's one red folder, and the jump has been semi significant over the past couple of times it's released. We'll see it continue to decay. Price will continue moving down, and it might hit this area here. But because of the sheer amount of volume going to be entering over here, when does that come out? I don't even think to look. Tentative, so it could be all day, it could be whenever. Currently it's 4 a.m. I don't know what tentative means. Let's see what it means. Tentative date and time indicates that an event, earnings report, product launch, or economic data release is planned but may be adjusted. Okay, so it's planned to come out, but right now they haven't set a defined time. It's uncertainty. It's a placeholder status, often used on economic calendars to indicate that a specific time for news is not yet fixed. So that's what it means. In other words, we have to literally wait, sit on our butts or our hands and wait for that to actively come out and work the way we want it to. Potential investment opportunities right there. Look at that opportunity. See that? Our setup's pretty much revealed itself. We got an imbalance here. We have a high here. Prices come real close to testing this high. We could see it drop even lower. Or cross above and just jump up to this right here. In which case it would further this consolidation. There we go. Let's hit that level. This isn't very much volume considering the amount on the high time frame being tapered off the way it is. This amount of volume here, though, I mean, it makes sense for it to come up and then consolidate a little bit. Though, because of this imbalance and the fact that we've got plenty of volume up here, it might actually continue lower based on this right here. In which case, if I were in a trade right now, actively going for a trade, from this imbalance on down, on this level being retested, and the MACD pretty much coinciding with, hey, yes, we're in retrace here, but we're also in downtrend on the high time frame, right? We're moving much further down, and there's a little bit of volume to boot. I'd enter in on a short here and collect from like this low all the way down to like this, maybe the point of control here. And this is based on the volume profile as well as the MACD and its indication that, okay, price was retested and then failed. As we can see, it did go up this high, but sellers have come in and said, nope, we're not doing that. We're going to go lower now. Sorry. Huge amount of volume up here, though. Liquidity, I should say. Because a lot of people probably would have assumed that is going higher. But based on the MACD, of course, and then the volume profile being the way it is, down seems the more optimal direction, according to the high time frame. We're not taking a trade right now, but I do want to put this here just to throw it out there, just to have it right there, ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out. I'm gonna leave it right here, right here, and I'm gonna pause the video because there's not much really else that I can do. I've marked all the points of control. I can't mark an imbalance until we get close to market open here, and I don't want to mess with my judgment when it does show up that my setup's here and I can actually enter in on a trade and then continue. This right here is going to prove, not prove. This won't prove anything outside of, okay, my strategy works sometimes. I want to wait before I enter a trade. So I'm going to pause the video now. I'm just going to wait. Simply put. I'll be right back. Alright. It's not near market open yet. I just wanted to unpause and quickly give, hey, looky dooey, this is a thing now, right? So, before I had paused, I'm pretty sure I had a level right here going this way. This was my retest zone. If price came up, retested this level specifically, rejected and continued lower, that would have been a potential point of entry. But because we're in London session, I chose not to take a trade. We're not within my window, which is right here towards 9:30 and onward. From this point, it did in fact reject this key level. It also went up into this fair value gap, but did not close. Instead, it actually respected it and then continued lower. It would have been a valid trade. It would have been. I would have needed to put my stop loss above these highs just to ensure that spread didn't get me out on this, but it would have been a valid trade. Also, price gave a false signal here with this move up, this mini imbalance. This was a pullback to the initial move. We didn't get an imbalance through this with the exception of like right here. And again, this was the retest. But throughout this whole move, there was not a single imbalance, as you can clearly see. The first imbalance was right here, and it was a false signal because volume built up in the opposite direction, but it never crossed the SMA or the 20 EMA. And as a result of this false signal and the previous retest of this area, we knew that price was going to continue low, and sure enough, that's what it's done so far. Before I unpaused, I had one level right here, but then I realized, wait, there's a low right here as well. It made a low in the middle of its move and then retested that same move, prompting this imbalance. But because of how the volume, how the trend was set up, this right here was set up, and the way the volume is working right now, it didn't have enough momentum to continue beyond anything because there was no real retest outside of this one level on the 5-minute. On the hour, you don't even see that level. Instead, you see just a huge move down. That's what we're seeing there. And as a result of this retest on the 5-minute, we got this imbalance. This imbalance, sure, would have been cause for alarm if any of these candles had closed above the 20 EMA, but instead of it doing that, price proceeded to continue in its current trend, straight down per the hour, which was just freshly closed below and broke enough structure. So we're in a downtrend now on the hour and on the 5-minute, and as a result, we're now within our first point of control and second point of control on the high time frame. Now we're looking to see if we were right about this fair value gap here. On the high time frame, it looks like we haven't even touched it yet, but on the 5-minute, we also haven't touched it. We're within the point of control first. We want to see it continue lower and test this imbalance right here. If it continues, hits this line, and then bounces off of it, we know it'll continue in the higher, in the uptrend. But if it closes below, disrespects this imbalance completely, we know it'll continue lower. I have a strong feeling that if it does wind up closing below or within this, that we are going to see price continue in its downtrend. And so when this opens, we need to be well aware of any imbalances just beforehand so we can find a level for retest. Once it hits that level, make a decision based on what that next candle does per that level. If it closes above it and the EMA lines up with the volume and it says it's going higher, will continue to enter on a long per that point. But in the event it doesn't and it fails, and then that also that same scenario lines up with the SMA EMA and we see the crossover, that's an entrance for a short. That is the end goal result. I just wanted to unpause and quickly explain what happened here and what happened here and what's about to happen here and what we're hoping to happen here, as well as the entry and exit points of pretty much all of this. I want to see the same thing happen later on when we enter. We'll wait for everything to line up, we'll enter, and then from there we'll wait for everything to line up a second time and exit there. Call it a day. Yeah, we got a little bit to wait, so I'm going to pause the video again. I just wanted to quickly explain that. I feel like I did a pretty good job. So, we're going to wait and, yeah, BRB. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're on the 5 minutes still. I noted the imbalance here. Put up a level for retest. It rejected it. Same way it did up here. We see it now within this range here. We're looking for a candle closure within or around this level and the strong reaction to move higher. Seeing as it's come a little bit sooner than I would have liked, something tells me if it does close below and hits this point of control 2, we'll see price continue on downward, like I said before. And of course, we'll wait for the MACD and the volume profile to line up with that, so that way it's a clear indication instead of just it tanking and the rest going, what in the world's going on type of gist, you know? This being the case right now, I'm going to leave it unpaused. I'm going to take a look at this. Just, we're going to watch it together because I don't want to make the same mistake I did last time. Looks like it closed within and right at that level. Let's see if it rejects. Just continues higher. I want to take a look at the high time frame too, because we made sure to note a level, one level, this level right here, because this was our imbalance. This was the first move down, and we were looking for this level to get retested again and rejected. So now that we have a move down, a valid break of structure, we need to see if this is going to continue in a downtrend or if it's going to reject this level specifically and move higher in the uptrend that was already formed. Per the volume, I think I kind of called it beforehand when we marked POC 1, POC 2. Both this and POC 1 were roughly neck and neck, and there was a decent gap between the two. That gap has since faded because of all the volume up here that has decided to accumulate. So now it's a stronger point of control 1 that we're seeing. Now that price has come down within this range here, we should see volume increase a little bit, but ultimately price return back to its general uptrend, which we're at the lowest point in this. And of course the volume's pretty much suggesting, yeah, there's plenty of room for it to climb up if it wanted to. This says it's just crossed the down move, so that was like right here, and that makes sense. It's just a matter of waiting and seeing. On the 5 minute and the hour, this is doing the exact same thing. It's just dancing around this zone right here. We want to see this move down, fail at going beyond this, and then move higher. That's the ultimate goal. If it does not fail, we're looking for an imbalance within this time frame right here from like this point forward, because that will give us an indication as to where market's going to want to go on open at 9:30. I don't think we'll be seeing it on the hour, so we'll just stick to the 5 minute for now. Here's our zone. Here's the level that it's got to fail. It can close beyond, it can close within, it's cool, but it cannot close underneath this zone in particular. If it closes up underneath it, we can safely, I am going to safely assume that it's just going to continue lower. I don't think it will though, because there's plenty of indication that price is going to continue higher based on the volume alone. And this is current market pattern as well as the smooth moving average. Initially, I thought it would consolidate within this area too, so it could dance around this for a minute. And based on the end result of this, we'll be looking for that breakout, the imbalance, and that imbalance will be our marker, and then a retest, pull back, enter, watch it move in the direction opposite of retest. Okay. Is that okay? Like that meant anything? Right now, price has rejected the level. We were kind of hoping it would. Let me see if the hour says anything different. Very indecisive. And that's at the point of control because it's come down to retest this. And obviously it's rejected this. So we might be seeing a trend reversal here soon. Let me go ahead and just... Right? As you can see, volume right here is roughly equal. I don't think it'll continue lower. Whereas we have a taper off here and a fair imbalance there. Where price has explored but hasn't gone beyond. So what I think is going to happen, what I think will happen, is based on the rejection here, and we have yet to have that confirmed, but based on this current rejection, price will continue high and retest this on the high time frame. And that is a potential, not a guarantee. So if it does wind up coming up above this, it'll test and then drop. Then again, we're also waiting for an imbalance to appear. We've been consolidating from here to here, pretty much. This is the drawback that's based on this imbalance that is gonna say, okay, we're gonna continue higher. And this right here in itself is an imbalance to speak of. If this closes the way it is now, I'm tempted to place a... Well, we have to wait. We have to wait. We have an imbalance here, but we need to wait for a low to form, mark that level, and then wait for a retest to confirm that, yeah, price is going to continue higher on the lower time frame and the higher time frame. Because without that confirmation, we don't know where it's going to go. So we're going to wait the remaining 2 minutes here for this imbalance to occur. Once it occurs, I'll be waiting for two of the same level to get hit. Once they've hit that same level twice, we'll know which direction it's going based on this move here. I'm still leave it on pause because we got to wait for this to close. We got to wait for this whole move to pan out because right now it's more so consolidating than it is giving us an imbalance. We got to wait and see. Just realized that is the sketchy part right there. Why is this a level to be concerned with? Because there's an imbalance right here. This imbalance creates this high. We have a level here that can be retested and rejected, which means it'll continue higher, or we have this level here that can be retested and then rejected and it'll continue lower. These two levels are the definitive of retest. We either see the reaction in the opposite direction or we don't and watch it fall. Looks like it's hit that level. Let's see if it reacts strongly, continues higher. Right now, market is extremely indecisive. Hence the mini consolidation that we've got going on right now. Looks like it has rejected that price. Based on what we've done so far, we've pretty much honed in on what market wants to do, and based on that, I can make an inference later on when we're in an uptrend. For instance, we have an imbalance and price wants to retest a specific level after leaving one behind, where market wants to go, but we'll need to wait for a pullback in order to get a valid entry point before assuming there is a trade to begin with. Okay, valid close and rejection. Now let's see it continue higher. For it to continue higher, it's got to break beyond this level here and then rip beyond. And it looks like we are in that up move via this right here. The footnote was the retest of this level here. We haven't broke below this yet. This is on the 5-minute, so potential false signal, though we are in an uptrend at the moment. We're not in an uptrend at the yet. We're not there yet. We're getting there though. If this breaks above this and closes, not only will it be a valid signal to enter on this, but we'll also have a break of structure and we'll see price rise from it as a result. A low rejection level. Let's take a look at the 5. Set the 5. The 1 minute. That's sketchy. Five-minute volume profile says they're gonna go lower. MACD, not so much. False. False move. There we go. Let's finally broke above. Ish. We're waiting on it. Just realized I haven't paused it. I haven't paused it. So this is going to be a little bit of a long video. Looks like it did break above the EMA, which is gold. These two are in line with each other now. We should be seeing it continue higher. We have not gotten any closer. Well, we have gotten closer. We just haven't gotten super close to market open yet. In respect of your time and the length of this video, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right where it is. I'm going to come back to recording when it gets about 30 minutes away from market open. I've probably been recording for an hour now. Yeah, I've been recording for an hour. So I'll be right back. We're in an uptrend. Woo! I called that. I'm happy that that's a thing. Now we got to find the rest of the requirements to enter market. BRB. Okay, so we're within 30 minutes now. Taking a look at this chart. We had a huge spike up, which was cool. We had two imbalances, one here and then one here-ish. The way this is situated over this imbalance is on the high time frame. This is the high time frame imbalance. Okay. As a result, we had this low after this imbalance that I wanted to see get retested and rejected, so price would continue higher. That has failed because we have closed beyond that, and we are now within this balance area looking for price to close within, fail, and then continue higher. There's no real low outside of that I'm targeting. Looking at this and going, I don't know. It could fail and it could continue higher. But at the same time, considering this break of structure here and the fact that we've made a lower high than the previous, and that there was no imbalance throughout all of this, and the only imbalance here is currently being filled, I think we're in a valid downtrend state, and what I should be looking for now is an imbalance within this leg that will then present a high level to retest, and then from there wait for the retest, and then the pullback for it, and then a drop after and get that second leg going. Um, yeah, this is done. This has got a minute left, so we'll wait patiently. Before market opens, we want to make sure we, within this move here, have an imbalance good to go that we can mark on and then wait out for a high to hit. Once we see the high form, we'll mark it and then we'll wait for the retest and then hop in there. I'm going to go ahead and say it might be here that we enter. And if so, our stop loss is like up here above this high. And if we're looking at a short position, it'd be like that. Whew. Gosh, pardon the yawn. Boom. That'd be a 2.91 on the risk to reward ratio if we were to enter that. And if price just so happens to want to continue lower, it'd be closer to a 1 and 4. If this candle closes the way it is, we'll have a valid imbalance on the 5-minute. I don't think we'll have an imbalance on the high time frame, so I'm not inclined to I'm not inclined to think it'll continue high just because it hits this level again. But at the same time, if it decides to close beyond this, filling this imbalance effectively, it will continue beyond the point of control 2, which would result in us having to move to the high time frame and checking out this move here. It could, price could hit this level here and then reject up high because we do have an imbalance right here. Though it's a small one, it is still an imbalance. This is the first low outside of this imbalance that has occurred. Well, there's an even better one right there. I didn't even think about that. That is a massive imbalance. So we could see it go within this. We could see it hop over here. Boom. We could see it hit either one of these imbalances. I strongly doubt it'll hit this because we've got such a large one here. My thought process is if it does want to continue below the second point of control right here, it will go beyond this just a little bit to sweep it and then resume its uptrend on the higher time frames. Technically, we've entered a consolidation mode. Here's our balance area, and the one point of control up here is pretty consistent. I mean, all the volume's high enough. It could continue higher. It all depends on its reaction to the first point of control, the large one, per previous session open and today's session open. It could hit and then strongly react off of it, but we don't know. I don't know yet. I'm inclined to think, per the imbalance we're about to get, I'm going to go ahead and delete this because it's already been filled. I'm going to then mark this. Boom. This is the 5-minute imbalance I'm looking at. I'm looking for a high to form within this so we can mark it, drop a little more, come back, fail, and then continue. That is what I think is going to happen. That is what I want to happen. And we're going to wait for this right here to coincide with that. Yeah, there's no imbalance within any of this. It's only right here that there's a fresh imbalance. And this move, this whole move down, filled up this imbalance right here. So There's a price gap there. Did the news hit? Is that what we're seeing? Pardon me, I was looking for a job because this is starting to look a little hopeless. What the heck? Where'd it go? We had a red folder in here a second ago. What happened? Mower. It just disappeared? What the heck? That was weird. Well, okay then. I guess no news today? That was weird. If that's the case, then we can assume price is just going to continue in its current direction. There's no, obviously, market open is going to present a huge amount of volume, and that's going to potentially change things or continue things. Very subjective on that. Very dependent, though, on what it's going to do when it's done. I think it'll continue higher. Because take a look. Take a look. Here's my logic, right? Right here is where price really crosses up with the moving average SMA, right? It comes down and crosses on both the MACD and the chart. The volume is there to support that price is going to continue in its direction based on this cross. And on the MACD, we could see that we're in a now downtrend. We're moving down. The SMA has crossed, and this is a valid entry point, technically. If we had put our stop loss up here, we could have just rode it down. However, we didn't do that because we didn't see a retest here. We wanted to actually wait for this to get retested, right? Because this is an imbalance. Cool. And that's the first after the imbalance. We needed to see this succeed and reject to go higher. It went higher. Yes, this was true, but at the end result, we're still in a down move. Now we're move. So now I'm thinking, based on where this is now, where this is now, and where the volume is, we could see price go far beyond point control 2, like I was saying a second ago. However, looking at this, the volume right here says, okay, we're as low as we can get. I said that, and it sounded stupid even to me. It could reach as far down as this right here. Within this level, again. And then from there, market open, shoot way high. How about that? From that retest, where was the imbalance? Not there. If it is, it'd be down there that it has to retest. It's this right here. This is the first imbalance, and it disrespected it. This is the newest imbalance. We'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait and see. A couple things have got to line up for us to take an entry point, so that's what I'll do. I'll simply wait. We got how long? 9:18, so 12 minutes. Less, which is okay. I don't know why I'm yawning like I'm tired. I've been awake for a minute now, just waiting. my hat go? There it is. Knew I was forgetting something. Pardon me. My bad. My bad. See what the hour is doing real quick. Yeah, we have a move down here, and it hit the point of control 1, and now we're seeing price react to it. So, conditions. It coming all the way down here and then reacting up and above this. If it closes above this imbalance, that's an entry point. If it closes within this and then moves down, we'll wait for the retrace back up, enter, and then that'll be a short. If it closes above, we'll enter in a long, and then yeah, I think that's a fair conditional set assessment. I think that's a good gist. Because if we break out and into the above, we'll have closed this entire move, filled a potential imbalance on the downtrend, fueling the ability for us to go higher, which makes sense in hindsight of where price is now in relation to the MACD. The fact that we have gone as low as possible within this range again, and then with us having a retrace footnote here, I do believe that if price closes within or below and then retests and then falls lower, that second retest will be the entry point. And if not, based on this current move up, if it continues higher, closes above, we'll see that 100% is going to be in an uptrend and it'll continue higher. Of course, when it does move, it's got a little bit to go because on open, this is going to look a little bit different. It's not going to be as down as much as it is. Once it opens, this is probably going to shoot way up into the green potential. We got 7 minutes to see, so let's see. something to note. This closes in a low, that'll be the thing. That'll be the entry point. Because price has visited that same area and then rejected it. As a result, we'll see it continue downward. We gotta wait for the close though, and then we'll enter. Once it opens, sorry. Once that candle closes and market opens, that'll be the determining factor on where price is gonna go. Hello, volume. Rejection. Move low. This is a previous level of rejection right here. That's what the hour looks like. Boom. Same spot. Just a little bit below. Strong bias says down low. We're just moving lower and lower. Although, did we break? We broke structure over here, so yeah, we're in a downtrend. So this makes sense if it decides to continue lower. Both the 5-minute and the hour say, yeah, we're moving low. So, is the hour just started? The hour is like mid-move. Yeah. Here's the open. That closed below. Price rejected there. I think we need to see what this open's going to do. Because it's now very indecisive. We can see it continue up and above, but we need to wait for closure within this range here. Good thing we waited. We're at 337. I want to see exactly what's going to happen here because price has now crossed above that fair value gap, but it hasn't closed or disrespected it yet, so we need to wait and see. Price did go up, but we need to see it reject that level and continue lower to take a short. If it decides to close above, we're definitely entering in all along. It's attracted to the first POC right there on the high time frame. That's where all the volume's sitting. So, with that being the case, it's seeking new value. I think it would need to go lower. Based on current price, direction, and volume. How much lower? Don't know. But we have to wait for this candle to close first before we can enter. Volume's up. Just gotta wait for it. Hello, point of control 2. Just like I was saying a second ago. Now, there might be a slight problem with this because um technically we have an imbalance here, but let's see what this looks like. No imbalance. Okay, so this is a valid point for a price to go to. Oh wow, this is very difficult. I think price is going to go higher. We've crossed 5 minute. Boom, here's that. It hit point of control 2 and has a strong reaction from point of control 2. It closed, as you can see, after retreating, and then from there, green goes up, spiked above point of control 1. This is a large range for price to manipulate within. So, question then becomes: are we going to move higher, or are we going to move lower? I think we're going to move higher. Why haven't I entered? Because it's shaky ground right now. Price went everywhere on open, which is to be expected. We haven't gotten a real test though, because this right here is our high. Here's price re-entering that same mode again. Per my strategy's rules, if it retests the same logic after an imbalance, we can wait for price to drop even further. But it has to create a second high hitting that same level in order to drop. That's how that works. On the minute, it's a little bit more complicated because, as you can see, on market open, it went way high, way low. We have an imbalance. Look here, 0.2, but it is after this imbalance, so we have to count this one first. On the 1 minute, move down, move up, hit same level, drop, entry point, move to 5. Highs or stop loss up here, take profit down there, whole 9 yards. Actually, more inclined to just do this on the 1 minute. Price is seriously tanking, which is good. It's a good thing. What we're waiting on is an imbalance. This move up failed this imbalance, and that's why I continued lower. We have this imbalance here, but we need to wait for retest. Or, yeah, a test of this imbalance. Wait for it to fail, potential entry, and then fall lower. 5 minutes says we've been in a consistent downtrend with the exception of this one move up here. And this move up is this right here, where it spiked up on open. And then we continue on moving down. I'll move up. High, fail, close, then drop. Let's see what the 5 minutes doing. 5 minutes just still giving us a red. It's hit the point of control twice. POC2. You see that? The low's hit, but it's unable to close below the point of control 2. So I think we're going to see it start to move higher. Confirmation is an imbalance in that direction. Same story. We need to see this level here closed above. I'm going to put it right back where I had it before. This imbalance right here. It's got to get closed above in order for that to be a valid. We're closed up above this. This level has been tested and moved beyond, and then of course this imbalance has then not only been filled, but the SMA has been crossed. And even speaking from this right here, we could see it continue to move higher. Listening to Daft Punk, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Good song, good music. We're within our time frame. I'm waiting for it. Waiting for my entry to pop up. Either it pops up or I don't trade. That's just how it is. Hard line in the sand. I'm not crossing it. Good grief. Despise ads. Notice how there's no imbalance throughout any of that? That whole move down, there's not one imbalance. A lot of liquidity up high, though. A lot of it. I think price is going to go much higher. Waiting on my entry, though. Patiently waiting on it. Mm. Hello. Price level hit there. See if it respects it. It's entirely dependent on that. If it closes below, enter. If not, enter in the opposite direction. Because, yeah, that's how that works, I think. Still feel like that's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea to do that. We've been in a downtrend for a hot minute. Look at all that red on the MACD. We had plenty of pullbacks, but none of them to retest and then confirm that, yeah, we're going lower. And nothing decisive on us breaking beyond this and going higher. So, and the only imbalance is the one way up there on the hour. It's a little bit different. We're still in one candle. And it's blown past all of this. So, next bet is right here on this imbalance. And it looks like it's about to cross up underneath this, which means we could be seeing a much steeper drop. Much, much steeper. On this closure, we'll go back up to the 1 hour, and then I'm going to test a theory about the EMA. On the high time frame and the 5-minute, we've pretty much done the same thing. Prices pretty much tanked all the way through. Based on the previous time it's done this, where it's a big candle that moves all the way through, it kept going another decent distance. So what I'm thinking is we'll enter and put our stop loss just above these highs here, and then I'll put a final take profit just below this imbalance here. And I'll leave it at that, because I have nothing outside of, yeah, this is just one big imbalance. All the lows beyond that are down past this. And I don't want to go past this because that's more of a risk I'm taking. I could lose a lot more if I chose to do that. So we're going to wait for this to close, and then we're going to enter based on the result. Because we've already crossed below this imbalance here. And in between these two, there's only really this low here to really work with. And that's still an option. Like, we could easily close, continue, hit this, and then bounce up, which is entirely possible. But I'm thinking if it decides not to and just revert from here, I'm down for that too, because we'll have an imbalance to work with. We just need to see it, again, close up above this and then rip even higher. And that'll be our end trade. We have until 10:30 to take a trade, and if we can't find one, then I'm not going to trade today. Those rules are pretty much set in stone. I understand my range, my limits. I get that. I need more music suggestions. Guys, suggestions. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. If you guys have any suggestions, please put them down in the comment section, because I'd very much like to listen to some other music outside of this. I'm loving the rock. I'm loving the country. Loving the little bit of electric that I got going on. I don't know. Something within those genres. Preferably. I'm not one for rap. Rap is meh. It's not for me. Hello. Big imbalance right there. Big imbalance. Imbalance. Break. Crash. Yeah. Rough gist, but we're gonna throw it on the other end of this imbalance. And then this take profit is gonna get thrown down here. This is a bad trade. What does this look like? Terrible trade, 1-to-1. If it continues lower beyond this, like, I really don't want to move that. I really don't. That's a pretty big drop for it to cross beneath that. This final take profit on the high time frame. This is low number 1 and then low number 2 with an imbalance in between. So I think a happy middle ground between this low and this low is the start of this imbalance here, which gives me a little bit better of a risk reward. If I do something like this right here, it's a 1-to-3 almost risk reward. That's a little bit better of a trade in my opinion. However, we're on the higher time frame in an uptrend, which means this would need to break far below this and then continue and just barely hit that. Spread is low, which is good, but my faith in this trade is very little. I'm hopping on a train that's already in motion. That's been in motion for the last couple of hours now. We're in mid imbalance, and my thought process is okay. It has blasted through all of this whole move has blasted through all of the points of control that I've had up to this point, and I do believe that it'll continue lower based on the imbalance move, just it being in the direction it is. I'm pretty sure it'll continue lower. Yeah, there's not much else I could really say about this. It's a bad trade. I don't like it at all. I'm kind of anticipating the loss today. I really am. This was not a FOMO trade. This was a well thought out guesstimation. Bad idea. This is going to take time to get through, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the hour because I already know what I've done. Now it's a matter of what's going to happen. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it good and clear. Boom, boom. You guys will be able to see it right then and there. What price does from this motion right here onwards. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. If not, oh well. Today's trade was terrible. I hate that I've taken this trade. I should have chose not to trade. It wasn't a FOMO again. It was more of a. It was more of logical reasoning with what I've learned in the past. In an imbalance, price is seeking out new balance, and as a result, it's going to keep going in that direction until it's consolidated. On the high time frame, we've been in consolidation. That much was apparent from this imbalance forward. All of this was consolidation. So we've been waiting on this breakout for a minute. And we initially thought that price was going to go lower, and sure enough, that's what it's doing now. How much lower? That is entirely dependent on its ability to cross below the levels of previous imbalance. So this right here, and it's crossed this one already. We're just waiting for it to close below this and then continue to drop. From there, it's a matter of closing below this low here and us taking that profit from it. There's not really much else to discuss about that. Technically, the trade was valid, an entry point. It was, and it still is. We just have to see it through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video now. I'm going to leave it right here so you guys can see exactly what it does when we get back. And yeah, I'm just going to minimize this window, chill for a second, wait for it. I'll be right back. Not going to lie, seems like it happened a little too quickly that I got a notification on my computer. I just wanted to unpause and go over this face to face. Yeah, whole 9 yards. Rip off the band-aid. Here we go. What happened? We're still in trade. What the flip is this then? 10:16 is 10:25. Okay, so that was the entrance. I made a boo-boo. I misread it. My PC is set up to give me notifications, right? And it says order filled, whatever, right? Usually I don't see it unless we either hit final take profit or stop loss. And as a result, I'll see that notification. And I'll have to backtrack to see exactly what happened. I should not have unpaused. My bad. I'm going to pause again because we're still good, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. I'm going to sit on the hour just like this now, and I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to pause. Sorry about that, BRB. Just so we're on the same page, I have managed to do this. Yay. Price has gone down far enough to this low that I was wanting. Very happy about that. Now I'm just waiting for it to continue and hit the final take profit there. And yeah, that'll be a well and done trade on my part. Yeah. Just waiting. Gotta wait and see. So we're gonna give the update. It has gone down quite a lot. As you can see, this was our entry up here. Actually, it was like right in here, but on this candle. And then, yeah, we put our stop, our thing up, our chart, put our stop loss, put that there. This was a bad trade, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. We are so far below this. I mean, Right there was a quick up, but it would have thrown a false signal, so I think it's got a little bit more gas. It could probably hit the take profit. I'm gonna do this though. I'm gonna be very, very, very careful. I'm gonna go ahead and just secure all of that, so we're pretty much good and locked in. Um, yeah, we took one trade, came out with $1.16. With any luck, at the end of this, our final take profit, we'll have another 61 cents to boot onto it. And yeah, right now it's 1902, so we'll have roughly 63, 64, something like that at the end of this. Unless it gives us a quick dip down and we get bonus from the dip. We'll see though. We shall see. Just waiting. Yeah, minute 35. Got a little bit. Come on now. Looks like we got another imbalance right there. So I should continue lower. We shall see though. I need to get one of those, not the memory foam, but the scrunchy seat pads. So when I have a seat, it's not as bored as it is cushion type of gist, right? Looks like we're going to be in retrace here in a moment. The SMA is trying to cross over the EMA, resulting in pullback, and then, yeah, it's just a matter of time waiting for it. Thinking about adding some memes to that one video. Just waiting for it to go off. It's going to take a sweet time doing so, too. Should that be a rule in the strategy I use? So the initial strategy is on a fair value gap, note a level, the high, right? Or the low, depending on what direction it's going in. And from there, wait for the retest. You go back up to that level and then fail, and it just continue in the direction the initial move was in. So it just, in a downtrend, it moves down, creates a level. There's pullback, retest, drop again, or in an uptrend, creates a low, retest, and then continues higher, right? What about a rule where the levels aren't tested and instead I'm presented with an imbalance, a fair value gap? Another one. But after one level was created, right? Similar instance to up here when this right here, this imbalance formed. We didn't get this until way later, and we only had this, and it just kept dumping on us. So we're over here like, okay. And another instance is right here. We had a high form, but it was never retested. Instead, we got a huge spike in price that went well up above, but in the end, it just continued to plummet. The next high wouldn't have formed until about right here, and by this time, we already had another imbalance to look at, right? This right here was a valid entry. We could have entered right here and captured all of this at a better price, But instead, we chose to enter on this candle because we were already presented with an imbalance that said, hey, price is moving low. Might want to catch it while it's hot. As a result of that move, we could have gotten an even better trade mid formation of that candle specifically, that fair value gap that I just mentioned. The rule I'm suggesting is in the event we have an imbalance and then a level created, but it's not retested, and instead we get a second fair value gap in the same direction, enter on the closure of that third candle. So this one right here, so as to not miss the rest of the move, the actual move versus the initial, right? Because there is no predicting off of just this level alone, if it's not been retested, where price is going to go. So wait for confirmation. Our confirmation in this instance would be this fair value gap, because there's no other indication that, hey, this level is getting tested again, and so if it fails, here's your bias, continue with entry. You know, I'm thinking it'd be best to have that backup rule in the event something like this happens again, where we have an imbalance, we have our level 1, but there is no second retest. It's just plummet immediately after, or a shoot up immediately after, right? I think that's a valid rule to have for flexibility purposes, allowing for better entry points and exit points, of course. I like the idea. Hello, maybe. You know, are you gonna kiss it, or are you gonna move beyond it? Come on. It's right there. Hit it. Punch it. Just a little bit further. Come on now. It's really wanting to go. It's right there. It's so freaking close. Today was a good trade. I got lucky. It's Monday. Tuesday, it's going to be a whole other ball game, whole different story. Got a little bit to work on. That's on the line, is what that is right there. Anyway, there we go. Final take profit. We made, how much did we make off of this trade? We had 66 plus 116, so $7.82. We have recovered all but 23 cents, 33 cents, something like that, for the full $20 balance that I had initially started with on this account. And I'm working towards starting to make a profit on it. I really am. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Orb Plus. If you're interested in checking any of my other content out, links to those can be found down below. This was a terrible trade, but I have learned, I have created a new rule that might be more beneficial to me than if I were to continue with the strategy without that backdoor flexibility like I've got right now. That being said, consider subscribing if you're new on the comeback. Drop a like if you actually enjoyed the video. This is not meant to be taken as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor in any capacity. This video is solely for me, I and myself. In the event you watch it and find something useful, have at it. Feel free to use it. I don't really care. I am more inclined to trade for myself, not for others. So ultimately, your choices are your responsibility, whereas mine are my own. Yeah. Thanks for watching this episode of War Plus. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.